don't know if you guys are supposed to see that, but if you are, I'll show it to you.
Guys, welcome to the first, what I might say is drivable day of the year for somewhat interesting cars. And because finally today the roads are a little clear, it's warm enough for some kind of summer tires, we have a lot of errands to run, and we're gonna be driving some cars, we're gonna be seeing some cars, and we're starting off in the 993 Turbo. Now, I have not driven this car in about 2 years, and this car just been sitting kind of parked for the 2 years. So it's covered in dust. You guys will see it when we get out of the car. It kind of looks a bit like a barn find. We're gonna clean it up, we're gonna drive it, we're gonna go visit our friends at Porsche Center Markham. We're gonna see some cool cars there. Then we're gonna do some stuff with the GT4. So even though it's just errands and cool cars are usually a pretty fun day, so stick around.
Yeah, here we are in the 993 Turbo. So it's raining a little bit. There's some splashes of water coming onto the car, which honestly I wish they didn't, because I want to show you how much dust is on the car, but nothing like a manual transmission in a Porsche 911. Now I gotta tell you guys, I have been waiting for the day where I can drive a fun manual car for months now. Honestly, this has probably been the worst winter I think we've had since I started doing some real car stuff, and this has been the longest wait of my life. And finally today we can have some fun, drive some interesting cars around, because it gets kind of depressing driving around in boring cars in the snow and a bunch of traffic. So a little taste of what's to come this coming summer. Now before the rain gets harder, here we have the 993 that we were just driving, and now because of the rain you can't really tell the dust, but here you can kind of see right here, this car has been parked for about 2 years. We have not driven it, but today we're gonna have a little fun day with it, enjoy it a little bit. I know it looks absolutely terrible outside, but believe it or not, it is a little warm. Definitely not summer warm, but for this winter, this is the best day we've had so far. So after 2 years of the car not being driven, Mina's gonna do the most satisfying thing, which is clean all the dust off this car, because it needs it very, very badly. It looks gray right now. It's gonna look black as soon as he's done. And also in a few seconds, I'll take you over there, show you all the cars here that we did a video on these cars before. 3 new cars, a few cars left, so we'll do a little update. But yeah. So while Mina is finishing the 993 Turbo, let me take you guys through some cars. We have the Spyder RS here. I really like these, I've been over them. I really want to try driving one. Then Lotus Emira, another Turbo, 997. This is like a crazy spec DBS. I think it's like $900,000. The wheels are wild, and all the carbon fiber right here, green carbon fiber. We did a more in-depth video on a lot of these cars, but if you haven't watched it, let's do a little rundown. Huracan Evo, Bentley Flying Spur, DBX 707, NSX, love this car. Then we have our buddy's GT3 RS with the matte PPF to make this car look matte gray. Behind that, another GT3. This one is chalk. 992 GT3, pretty cool duo, GT3 RS and GT3. And then honestly, a car that just aged better than anything else. 458 right here, the Italia. Has like a carbon fiber gas cap, which is pretty cool, but these things just, I think it'll be worth more than a 48 very, very soon, if they're not already, which speaking of, we have a Liberty Walk 48 right here. We'll get to that in a second, but Ferrari Roma and this crazy tailor-made SF90. Yellow accents, blue car, like everything is painted. The interior is actually wild with these like white seats with the yellow accents. Even the paddle shifters are yellow. But this 48 right here, I think it's a Liberty Walk. This used to be DDE's car actually. So if you look on the wheels, there's a DDE logo. I think that's it, but yeah, DDE car. Then we have an R8 SLS, and I think it's an Evo A12 N Largo wide body GTS. This thing is badass. Then we have a Dodge Demon as well. Talk about 2 wide bodies next to each other right here. And on top of that, definitely not kind of my 2-car garage, but definitely a lot of people's 2-car garage. G63, Huracan Technica, the rear wheel drive, kind of the more subtle version of the STO, but probably this is probably a very common 2-car garage. Just I don't think either of them would be in my 2-car garage. So the best part about any car wash is the soap gun. So car's completely foamed up right now, and it's gonna look like a brand new car once Mina's done with it. So guys, check out Le Mans Detailing if you need any detailing, PPF, whatever you need, because when you come here to drop off your car, you'll probably get to see a lot of these, and honestly probably the best work in Toronto for anything like this. And now the car actually looks like a proper black. which it hasn't been dust free in a very long time. And the car is done. Now the car looked way more gray than this before. Mina did a great job on this detail, and now the car's clean to finally go out for the first time in 2 years for a proper drive. And we're going to drive this thing, and we're going to see quite a lot of other really cool Porsches. Stick around for the whole video, because honestly, we have a lot to do today, and it's going to be pretty fun.
Okay guys, so we are in the 993 Turbo, and this is the first time I got to drive a fun car with a manual on a decently nice day in probably 2 or 3 months. This has definitely been the roughest winter in a very long time. Usually, you know, every 2 or 3 weeks I'll have a day or something where I can take out the GT4 or drive something. This winter, honestly, I've been absolutely deprived of cars. So today is just, honestly, even though just doing some random stuff, I'm really enjoying driving this. So we're gonna go see some cars actually right now, even though we saw some cars at Le Mans detailing. We're gonna see some cool cars at Porsche Markham. Then we also gotta go pick up the GT4, see what that's like, because that car has not moved in a very long time. And also make sure you stay around, because car season, it's not a while away, because this weekend we're going to Miami for Moda. So there's gonna be some wild videos from there with some crazy cars. By the time we come back, weather here is probably gonna pick up. It's probably gonna be able to do some cool stuff here. So I think from here on out, it's gonna be pretty consistent content with some pretty good cars, but let's hope for the best. The one thing about these 993 turbos you gotta get used to normally are these floor mounted clutches. So normal clutch you press in, this one you press down. So like, you know, the 964, 959, this, they all have that. And that is a big problem when, you know, it's summertime, you know, I'm driving the newer manual cars where it's kind of a regular clutch. You get into this, you're completely thrown off. But I haven't driven manual in so long, this was just, it just seemed pretty normal. But ripping this thing, oh, the turbo, oh my God. This is a 1997. This car's coming up on 30 years old. It's still fast. I think these had probably like, I think 400 horsepower, somewhere around there. And they look amazing. They're so comfortable to drive. They're so smooth, like the gearbox is good. Nothing feels clunky. Like, these cars are worth, you know, around 300 grand for a good reason, because this is a classic Porsche that you don't have to put in a collection. You can actually use, drive it on the road, have fun, and you're not worried about it breaking. These cars are so bulletproof that, you know, you buy a Ferrari from this era, 355, whatever, you're terrified that something's gonna go wrong, because the car's gonna be in the shop for months with an engine out service. This thing is more comfortable to drive than those cars. Honestly, it's faster, more reliable, cheaper to maintain, maybe a little bit more expensive to buy, but if you're gonna be using the car, you might as well spend that money up front and not have any worries after that.
So now we're at Porsche Markham. We have the 993 Turbo right outside, but another car we drove on the channel more recently is the Carrera GT, seal gray. Hopefully in the summer we'll get this thing out on the road. And then on the other side, we got a 0.2 GT3 RS and a 0.2 Speedster, which is probably the most underrated 911 in current years, because these only came in automatic PDK. This is pretty much the same car in a manual with the open top. So honestly, guys, this car will be a $750,000 car one day. I guarantee you that. I don't know why people are not jumping on them. Personally, I don't think I would do the guards red. I'll probably do a white or a blue, but it's literally this convertible with a manual. I think this is a great car. Also a nice Ruby Star Spyder RS. Man, not a bad showroom here. So I was gonna film more today. Don't click off the video, because tomorrow I'm gonna film more, but it's nighttime now. It took me a lot longer than I thought. Picked up the GT4. I have not driven the GT4, I think, in like 2 months. It is very, very dirty. It's gotta get some stuff done tomorrow. Probably tomorrow night. So I'll drive it tonight, I'll drive it tomorrow. The weather is okay for a bit, and then I'll put it away. Probably won't see it on the channel for another few weeks, but I think soon you guys are gonna see some crazy cars on the channel. Like I said, stick around for the Miami vlog, stick around for the rest of the video, but from now on I think we're gonna have pretty consistent content. Like, the weather's getting better, things trying to wake up again. So I was gonna be done filming for today and continue tomorrow, but unfortunately there is a problem with the GT4. Every time I park it, the rear right tire always gets low for some reason. I didn't know why, but today I discovered why. It's at 17 PSI. I probably shouldn't be driving it, but I don't really have a choice. Pretty much the valve to fill up the air, which I normally just fill up the air, won't take in any air. And now I'm in a bit of trouble. And I guess that's also why it was leaking. So now we are driving slowly to ECC Tuned, where Benny is gonna meet us at 10 p.m. pretty much to try to help us fix this, or potentially leave the car there for tomorrow. But that is an annoying issue, because that means, as much as I really wanted to enjoy the car a little bit tonight,
I don't think I'll be able to do that. So emergency help, we got Benny at ECC at 10 p.m. pitch black, nobody here to help me fix this valve. Now Benny, I've been waiting to drive this car for 2 months. That's all I've been thinking about. You gotta make this happen. Don't crush my dreams. Otherwise I gotta leave the car with you and I just don't get to drive it now too. So
I'll try not to crush it. We'll see.
Come on, you gotta make it happen. Put some air in that tire. And then you'll still get it to get fixed, but after I get to drive it a little bit. I don't know what's going on. Benny's a magician, so go to ECC for anything you need. But it's pumping air already. I think we get to enjoy the car a little bit today.
Yeah, it's going.
It's going, we're good. And just like that, Benny fixed it. We got 30 PSI in the car. We are good to go. I can enjoy the night a little bit. So it is currently next day and we're in the GT4. There's something that I gotta get fixed in the GT4. So we're on the way to Mina's shop. I didn't think I'm actually gonna show ever any damage on the GT4, but whatever, I'm gonna fix it. I'm never selling this car, so I don't really care if, you know, it got fixed or something. There's slight damage on the car. When we get to Mina's, I'm gonna show you what it is. Sorry for all the salt on the window, but we are pulling into Mina's. And yeah, actually, I don't know if you guys are supposed to see that, but if you are, I'll show it to you. Yeah, the GT4 is here, and before we get to the car that I thought maybe you guys are not supposed to see, you guys just saw a glimpse of it, I'll show you what the issue is with the GT4 and what needs to get fixed. So the car obviously is absolutely filthy, so it does need to get cleaned. But if you guys remember my toy drive video, the car was in storage when I took the car out for that, and Jason parked it for me. And the way he parks his cars, he parks them in first gear with no parking brake on. I park my car in neutral with the parking brake on. So I'm used to being able to let go of the clutch and, you know, not worrying about anything. Now, I didn't realize my car was in first gear, no handbrake on, and I had the door open because I was filming the startup, and right here was a concrete barrier. I let go of the clutch, car starts rolling forward, and then we got a ton of damage here. Like, paint's completely gone here. There is scratches right here, and also it's hard to tell, but there's scratches here too. So I had to bring it here to Mina at Le Mans Detailing. He is going to take care of it and fix it for me. So for car season, there's no damage on the car. Plus, there might be another cool project happening with this car before summer that's going to happen right here. Maybe. We don't know yet. But the car that I didn't know if I can show you is this. So Aston Martin Valor. This car has been here for quite a while, but I've never been able to show it. I've been around this car now for a few months. So it's kind of cool to see this thing, you know, like a few times a week. But the shape of this car is insane. Like, it looks almost like an 80s muscle car slash, like, you know, the 80s Aston Martins did look like muscle cars, but like the circular headlights, everything, no car looks like this. But the cool part about this car, first of all, it's $3 million, which is wild for like a front engine GT car, but $3 million for this. But the coolest part is it's a V12 and it is also a manual transmission. That is absolutely awesome to have still something you can shift your own gears with the V12 for, like, you know, hypercar level prices. That's really, really cool. And obviously the Aston Martin doors that go slightly up. Cool thing about Aston Martin doors is anywhere you stop the door, it will stop. It's not like hinges where there's different levels. You can stop it at any point. I guess too low it closes, but any point it'll stop right there. But the interior of this thing is so sick. The green with the kind of tan, the seats are wild. Honestly, I love the Aston Martin carbon seats. They look so good. This car is kind of built to match this Aston Martin DBS. It's the same owner. This one has a green carbon stuff. You saw it, you know, earlier in the video. But I will make a video that's a lot more detailed about this car and also featuring some of the other cars in the collection. But we will do a very in-depth review with a lot of information about the spec and everything to do with this car. So yeah, that's it for today. Next video you see is going to be probably in about 2 days, and it's going to be from Miami. There's going to be some wild cars. Right now, we're doing our best with what we have here in Toronto, which honestly is not bad, but once we go to some good weather, it's going to be cars on a different level. It's going to be a lot of fun, so make sure you stay tuned, subscribe, and I'll see you in a few days.